look left, look up. That wasn't your soul, it was a group of overworked muscles trying to keep things sharp. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Neurosketch, and this is Dr. Kenny. And today it is time to talk about unsung heroes of the eye, unsung hero of the orbit, and it is a time to solve the mystery of what opens your eyes, the mystery of what keeps your eyes open all day long. This is Neurosketch. Welcome back, and let's go. This is the very first part on the discussion of the extraocular muscles. The very first part on the discussion of the extraocular muscles. We'll have some few episodes, some few videos discussing about the extraocular muscles to make sure that we cover everything that we have to. So why at first place, why are they even called extraocular muscles? Well, they are extraocular muscles because they originate somewhere outside the ocular, so outside the globe of the eye. So they originate somewhere else, and then they come to insert to the eyeball. So they are extraocular because they are found on external surface of the eyeball. So that's why they are called extraocular. Remember, we have intraocular muscles, for example, the ciliary muscles that are found within the radius, the sphincter pupillae muscle, the dilator pupillae. All of those are the intraocular muscles. So to differentiate between those and these, so we call these extraocular muscles because they are found outside the globe, outside the eyeball. So they originate somewhere. So these are actually the muscles of the head that we try to move the eyeball and the upper lid. So how many muscles do we have? We have seven extraocular muscles, and to begin with, we have the levator palpebrae superioris. Of course, we talk about it more in this video. So this is the levator palpebrae superioris muscle. So as from the name, it elevates the superior palpebral, so it elevates the superior eyelid. So the levator palpebrae superioris, that's the very first muscle. And then we have group of four muscles that are a little bit straight. So we have the rectus muscle, the recti muscles. The recti muscle, rectus means straight. So we have a group of straight muscles. How many straight muscles do we have? We have four straight muscles. We have the superior rectus muscle. We have the medial rectus muscle because it is medial side. On the medial side, we have the lateral rectus muscle, which is the lateral straight muscle, and then we have the inferior rectus, which is the inferior straight muscles. So we have four recti muscles, or we have four straight muscles, and named according to their position relative to this position in the globe, on the globe. So superior because in the superior side, inferior because it's on the inferior side, and medial and lateral respectively. So four muscles. And then we have two oblique muscles. We have two oblique muscles. Namely, we have the superior oblique and inferior oblique. So this is the superior oblique, and this is the inferior oblique. Now, I know extraocular muscles can look intimidating, but don't you worry about it. I'm here to make it easier for you. So in total, we have got seven extraocular muscles, and we discuss each one in turn. So this was the left eye, and this is the right eye. So this is the coronal section through the orbit, and then this is the whole eye as it's seen. So nothing new. We have seven extraocular muscles on either side. So we have the levator palpebrae superioris. We have the recti muscles, straight muscles. We have the straight muscles, four straight muscles, and two oblique muscles. Nothing new. So we are moving. So I tell you something easy to grasp at this point. It is innervation of the extraocular muscles. Innervation of the extraocular muscles is the easiest thing that you encounter today. So the names to extraocular muscles can be remembered by this mnemonic here: SO4 LR6 bracket 3. So what does it mean? It means the superior oblique muscle, which is this one, the superior oblique muscle, will be innervated by the cranial nerve number 4, which is trochlear nerve. The trochlear nerve will innervate the superior oblique muscle, and then the lateral rectus, the LRL is lateral rectus, and the lateral rectus will be innervated. This is the lateral rectus. It will be innervated by the cranial nerve number 6, and the cranial nerve number 6 is abducens nerve. It will be innervated by abducens nerve, which is cranial nerve number 6, and all other extraocular muscles will be supplied by the cranial nerve number 3, which is oculomotor nerve. So 3 is for oculomotor, 4 is for trochlear, and 6 it is for abducens nerve. So that's everything you need to remember on the innervation of the extraocular muscles. Of course, we have another muscle that we haven't mentioned it yet, because we've said we have 7 muscles. We have seen 7 muscles, but we have one often overlooked muscle, and we're going to discuss it in detail shortly. So let's discuss now about so we have 7 extraocular muscles. Today we discuss the very first part, which is levator palpebrae superioris, and then we have a discussion on the recti muscles, and then later we have discussion on the oblique muscles. So let's first start with the levator palpebrae superioris and its accompanying muscle. So as from the name, levator palpebrae superioris, it is the muscle that elevates the superior eyelid. This is the superior eyelid. So it originates from the lesser wing of the sphenoid bone, so the roof of the orbit, which is made up of the lesser wing of the sphenoid bone, and it comes to insert. See now how it insert. This is levator palpebrae superioris. So it inserts the skin of the upper rib, and part of it inserts to the superior tarsus, or the so-called the Müller muscle. So 2 points of insertion. One is the skin of the irid, the skin of the upper irid, and the other one is the superior tarsus muscle, or the so-called the Müller's muscle. So let's talk about innervation. So from the formula, we have said all other muscles except for these two, the superior oblique and lateral rectus, all other muscles will be innervated by oculomotor, which is cranial nerve number 3. So this is to say the levator palpebrae superioris will be supplied by the oculomotor nerve as well. It is no different. It will be supplied by the oculomotor, and that is guaranteed. So we have something here. So we have seen you have levator palpebrae superioris, of course, but we have the tarsus muscle, the superior tarsus, or the so-called Müller's muscle, and we didn't mention it in the 7 extraocular muscles. So this is another part of extraocular muscles, because it helps in movement of the upper eyelid, opening of the upper eyelid. So now I tell you that opening of the upper lid, the movement, elevation of the upper eyelid, the elevation of the upper lid will be controlled by 2 muscles. The first muscle will be, of course, the levator palpebrae superioris, which is the chief elevator. So it is a chief elevator. It elevates by a bigger part, and it is strong. It elevates by a bigger part, and it elevates about 10 to 11 millimeters. So 10 to 11 millimeters will be elevated by the levator palpebrae superioris. And then we have another muscle, the superior tarsus muscle, will elevate 1 to 2 millimeters. So take this from this point, that the levator palpebrae superioris will initiate elevation about 10 to 11 millimeters, and then the superior tarsus muscle will do the rest, which is 1 to 2 millimeters. And what actually it does, it is just to keep your eyes open. It is under autonomic control, of course. I will tell you, it is under autonomic control, and so it does the baseline functioning of keep your eyes patterned. or open, so it keeps your eyes patent or open. So the strongest one would be the levator palpebrae superioris, and of course there is superior tarsus muscle will do 1 to 2 millimeters, which is basically to keep your eyes patent. So it is like maintaining the steady opening of the eye. I'm emphasizing this a little longer because I know we have most of questions coming from these two concepts, and they confuse students millions times. So yeah, so okay, so that was superior tarsus and the levator palpebrae superioris. So the levator palpebrae superioris will elevate the upper lid for the 10 to 11 millimeters, and then the superior tarsus will elevate to 1 to 2 millimeters higher, more 1 to 2 millimeters more, to make it even patent. Okay, yeah. So if we have and of course these two muscles are being opposed by the action of the gravity. So the gravity, because they are elevating, so the gravity pulls the eyelid downward, so they are being opposed by the gravity, number one, and then number two by the orbicularis oculi, as in closing the eyes, because this one will open eye. So elevation of the eyelid, of the upper eyelid, means opening of the eye, so it will be opposed by the muscles that will try to close the eye, the eye, and that would be the orbicularis oculi, but also the action of the gravity. So the gravity will also pull downward. But which one is stronger between the levator palpebrae and superior tarsus? That would be the levator palpebrae superioris. It's very strong, and it's a chief elevator of the the upper eyelid. Okay. So let's of course we see the clinical part of this upper lid, and that will be ptosis. I will emphasize it shortly. But let's see about the innervation of the extraocular muscles by innervation of the levator palpebrae superioris. We have already said the levator palpebrae superioris will be supplied by the oculomotor nerve, because it is not superior oblique, and it is neither lateral rectus, so it will be supplied by oculomotor nerve. But it will be supplied by the upper branch, the superior division of the oculomotor. So this is the oculomotor nerve, and then it forms two terminal branches, and that would be the superior division of oculomotor nerve and the inferior division. The superior division will supply two muscles, and the first muscle would be the superior rectus and the levator palpebrae superioris. So the levator palpebrae superioris, it is supplied by the superior division of the oculomotor nerve, superior division of oculomotor nerve. And then I haven't told you in the previous slide, the superior tarsus muscle will be supplied by the sympathetic nervous system. And where do we get the sympathetic? We already know that we don't have any sympathetic within the head. All the sympathetic fibers have to come from superior cervical ganglion or somewhere else. So superior cervical ganglion, because it is thoracolumbar. So superior tarsus muscle by the sympathetic and the oculomotor, and the levator palpebrae superioris by the superior division of oculomotor nerve. So let's now talk about the clinical significance of upper eyelid. Clinical significance of the upper eyelid, the two muscles that we have discussed today, and that is levator palpebrae superioris and superior tarsus muscle. So we have something that's ptosis, and ptosis is dropping of the upper lid. So the dropping of the upper lid, and the dropping of the upper lid can be complete or incomplete. So someone can have complete dropping of the upper lid, someone can have incomplete dropping of the upper lid, and this dropping can be either myogenic, of myogenic origin. The problem has something to do with muscles, and can be neurogenic. Something has to do with neurons, neurogenic. So we have myogenic causes and neurogenic causes. So this is complete dropping of the upper lid, and Between the two muscles that you mentioned, the levator palpebral superioris muscle and superior tarsus muscle, which one do you think will have a complete, will result into complete ptosis, or complete dropping of the upper lid? That would be the levator palpebral superioris, because it is the chief, because it initiates. So the superior tarsus, we said, it is a weak muscle, and it does only 1 to 2 millimeter elevation after the levator palpebral superioris has already done its action. So superior tarsus cannot initiate on its own. It depends on the levator palpebral superioris. So the complete ptosis will typically be due to either levator palpebral superioris injury or damage, or its associated nerve, which is oculomotor nerve, and that will be the complete ptosis. So complete ptosis has something to do whether with the levator palpebral superioris muscle or the nerve that supplies the levator palpebral superioris, and that would be either superior division of the oculomotor nerve, or the oculomotor nerve, or its neuron, its nucleus within the brainstem, within the midbrain. Are we together? So the person can only elevate the upper lid by manually lifting the upper lid, and not automatically. And then we can have incomplete ptosis, incomplete dropping of the upper lid. And I think now you can already give the answer to this, what happens, what goes wrong, because it looks like the levator palpebral superioris has already done its part of elevation, initiating elevation, and then the superior tarsus has failed to elevate the final 1 to 2 millimeters, because the levator palpebral superioris has already done maybe 10 to 11 millimeters, and then it is now time for the superior tarsus muscle, which is not working. So incomplete ptosis could be due to damage to the superior tarsus muscle, myogenic, or it could be to the nerve that supplies the superior tarsus muscle, and that would be the sympathetic nervous system. So we conclude by giving this a little mnemonic here, that the levator palpebral superioris, L for lifting, so it lifts. So levator palpebral superioris lifts, while the Müller muscle, M, maintains. Müller's muscle maintains the elevation, We will soon review the clinical correlates, some questions from this part, and see you next time on the next part of the extraocular muscles. Ciao. Will.